What's up everyone and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got Jairzinho Rozenstruik's next fight, Sean O'Malley's reaction, Cheyenne Vlismas uncertainty, and much more. Don't forget to like this video and subscribe to the channel to see more videos just like this. Now let's get into it. Sean O'Malley's reaction to the UFC's pay-per-view price rise. Sugar Sean O'Malley briefly gave his reactions to the raising of prices for UFC pay-per-view events. Sugar, who recently beat Raulian Paiva via TKO in the first round last month, gave his reaction during episode 48 of the OMalleys show.
Dana White raises pay-per-views $5. What the hell are we doing here, Dana?
Sugar then went on to say that he doesn't really blame Dana White for doing it, saying that many fighters are simply not bringing in the money. They don't have much of a following, and that, from a business perspective, it does make sense that way. But he also said that no matter what, there will still be quite a bit of people illegally streaming the pay-per-views, and this might actually create more demand for that, saying the UFC still needs to address the problem of illegal streaming. Either way, the prices have risen for ESPN Plus pay-per-view and pay-per-view packages ahead of the first pay-per-view for 2022, UFC 270 on January 22nd. What are your thoughts on the price rise for UFC pay-per-views? Diego Sanchez calls Paddy Pimblett a clown. Paddy responds to the laughingstock. Diego Sanchez and Paddy Pimblett are throwing shade at one another on social media. Replying to one of Paddy Pimblett's posts on Instagram, the Nightmare posted emojis of clowns, insinuating that Paddy is a clown. Well, the Liverpool native made sure Diego knew he had seen it and issued his own reply on Instagram. Diego Sanchez, lad, you are really trying to call me a clown? Go and get brainwashed by that Fabia dude again, like he's your cult leader, you dumb mother. You're the laughingstock of this whole sport. Ever talk about me again, you f***ing has-been? I slap your ass up. Paddy screenshotted that exchange and posted it on Twitter with the caption, "Come at the king, you best not miss." For his part, Diego is gearing up to take part in the first Eagle FC event in North America in a headline bout against Kevin Lee in the 165-pound division. Diego is 3-2 in his last 5 fights, including a unanimous decision loss to Jake Matthews at UFC 253 in September of 2020. The Baddy, meanwhile, only just made his UFC debut in September with a first-round TKO win over Luigi Vendramini that also earned him a $50,000 bonus. What do you think about this back and forth between Diego and Paddy? Booked. Marcin Tybura against Jairzinho Rozenstruik for February 26. A heavyweight clash between Jairzinho Rozenstruik and Marcin Tybura is all set for a UFC Fight Night event on February 26th at the UFC Apex in Las Vegas. Tybura will be looking to bounce back from his last outing, a unanimous decision loss to Alexander Volkov in October at UFC 267. Before that, he had won 5 straight fights. Rozenstruik, meanwhile, is 2-3 in his last 5 fights, with wins over Augusto Sakai and Junior Dos Santos. In his last outing, he dropped a decision to Curtis Blades at UFC 266 in September. The February 26 card for the UFC Fight Night is looking pretty good, and is headlined by Beneil Dariush versus Islam Makhachev. A real lightweight showdown right there. What do you think about Marcin Tybura taking on Jairzinho Rozenstruik, and who do you think wins this fight? Don't forget to take a second to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the latest fight news. Holm sounds doubtful that women's featherweight division will continue and talks Kayla Harrison. After competing 3 times in the UFC women's featherweight division, Holm is still looking forward to fighting back in the 135-pound division, as she questions what the plans are for that division. Holm, who has been nursing an injured knee that prevented her from fighting this past October against Norma Dumont, says she's only ever taken fights in the featherweight division because bantamweights kept passing on her. The division was created in 2017 basically for the UFC to sign Chris Cyborg, and she eventually became its champion until Amanda Nunes came up in weight and knocked out Cyborg for the featherweight title in the first round. Still, Holly, in a recent interview with MMA Fighting, said she believes her future is at bantamweight.
Is Nunes, if she's going to fight right away, is she going to go back to the rematch? That's going to be at 135 anyway. What is the end goal in 145? What would I be really going for?
Then Holly was asked specifically about Kayla Harrison, the 2-time PFL lightweight tournament winner and 2-time judo Olympic gold medalist, whom UFC President Dana White has been hinting would be signed by the promotion. This is what Holly had to say about her.
Doesn't Kayla fight at 55? Like, she'd have to, like, even get down to 45. So then you got, like, a big 45er. And then, like, 35ers that might want to come up. Maybe. You know, there's always that. So, I don't know. I don't know what they're planning on doing with her coming over, if she's coming over.
Holly's not wrong here for questioning this, as Harrison would have to get down to 145 pounds to enter the featherweight division, since the UFC doesn't have a women's lightweight division. There really aren't many natural female 145 pounders to challenge Amanda Nunes for that title. Harrison, meanwhile, has only fought at featherweight once, a second-round TKO victory over Courtney King at Invicta FC in late 2020. It remains to be seen what happens with Kayla Harrison and the UFC, although there has been talk of her joining the promotion. What do you think about Holly Holm's comments here? Cheyenne Vlismas, unsure of when she'll fight again, admits she's in hiding. The fighter formerly known as Cheyenne Buys, Cheyenne Vlismas, is at an undisclosed location trying to sort out her personal life and says she doesn't know exactly when fans will see her back in the octagon. However, it looks like she is able to at least get some training in, as she told MMA Fighting in a recent interview. The 26-year-old Florida native made her UFC debut back in early 2020, losing a unanimous decision to Montserrat Ruiz. But she bounced back from that loss to win 2 straight. A first-round TKO win over Floria de Paula last July, and a unanimous decision win over Mallory Martin in December, both of which have earned her $50,000 bonuses. She admitted that the money has saved her and put her in a much better position financially. With her divorce being finalized and other troubles in her life, Vlismas is optimistic that she would return to the cage by the summer, but says that she has no answers for anyone at the moment.
So, I mean, unfortunately, I would love to fight again soon, but because of reasonings on beyond belief, I cannot fight, and I cannot make any more money until I finalize some things in my life, and I don't know when that will be. I'm trying to make it soon.
Vlismas didn't go into her problems too in-depthly here, saying she's taking it day by day. What do you make of this whole situation? Retirement was hard for Artem Lobov because he says he had to admit that he wasn't good enough. When fighters get to the end of their careers, there's a moment of honesty and clarity that happens within themselves, where they have to reconcile all the things they achieved and did not achieve in their careers. There are only so many people who become champion prize fighters, and while many others still go on to great careers without ever wearing the belt around their waist, all fighters set out to become the best and wear the crown, however fleeting. In a recent interview with Ariel Helwani, Artem Lobov was very candid about his experience when he finally retired from MMA. He's fought in 30 professional cage fights and retired with a record of 13 wins, 15 losses, 1 draw, and 1 no contest, according to his Sherdog. Since his last MMA fight in 2018, he's fought 4 times in bare-knuckle boxing, going 2-2, and officially retired from fighting after his TKO loss to Denis Berinchyk in July of 2021. For Lobov, the realization hit him hard, and this is what he had to say on the MMA Hour about his retirement.
So now this time when I retired, I finally had to come to this point where I had to say to myself, well, that's it. You will not achieve those goals. It will not happen for you. You weren't good enough. You didn't manage to get where you wanted to get. This is it now for you as a fighter. Time to hang it up, Artem. Bye-bye, you know. So that's why it was an emotional time for me.
Still, Lobov's fight against Jason Knight in BKFC was a contender for Fight of the Year, and he even headlined a UFC Fight Night card in April 2017 opposite Cub Swanson. But what do you think about the Russian Hammer's comments about retirement? Thanks so much for joining us today and catching up on all things MMA. What do you make of what's going on in the fight world? Make sure to like this video and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all the latest fight news from the MMA world. See you next time.